asked us to be on the podcast. We're like, who, us? Why?
You know what it was? It was just the level of authenticity. Me going to my very first food event. Maybe it was just because I looked like a fish out of water, but you had taken the time to really just kind of expose me to this incredible group of people and this craft. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I came back with Levy. I was on the drive home, and I'm like, I need to get them on the podcast. Yeah. Like, they're so amazing. Yeah. And then I get nervous because you're so busy and you do such a great job. I'm like, I hate asking for people, but the moment I asked, you're like, yeah, let's set something up, which was amazing. I don't know who I was talking to. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
no, like you and I, like, hit it off right away because I saw the same passion and your level of energy and passion, and then I started looking at your account. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. I mean, not only typically the real estate agents, it's the picture, it's here's all my listings every day.
Yeah.
You have Foodie Fridays.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, and you call yourself not a foodie.
No.
I call that a foodie because I found out after talking to you how passionate you are about food.
Yeah.
So that I think that's how we really clicked it off.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So for like maybe the 3 or 4 people in the GTA who actually don't know you or don't follow you, tell everyone who you are, if you don't mind.
We're just regular people that love food. We have an Instagram account where we share the food that we eat. We've had the account for maybe about 3.5 years, almost 4 years now.
Almost 4 years.
Okay.
Wow, it went by really fast. And we've always loved food. We sort of base our outings around food.
Okay.
And
that's
like,
interesting.
Where do you want to eat?
Yeah.
Or any holidays, it's like, okay, first thing we ask is like, okay, what's on the menu? So
yeah,
it's we've always loved food, and it just sort of started from there. We said, okay, we're gonna document what we eat, and we're like, this looks amazing, we got to take a picture of it.
Okay.
So he started doing that on his personal account, and he started taking pictures to the point where our friends were like, okay, we don't want to see any more food, can you just create a separate account just for your food, because we don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then like no expectations, was just really to document our food and say, remember when we had this, and we can look back and say, oh, this meal was amazing.
Yeah.
So and then it just started from there. We just started with taking pictures from our cameras.
Okay.
If you look back to our very first photo, which is still up there, it's horrible. But at the time.
Doesn't everyone say that though? Like when they're starting on a journey, it's just like, I say to me, like the agents are like, oh, you're doing so many videos, like it's so polished, and I'm like, but it's not. Don't forget where I started. Don't forget where we started, right? And that's
exactly.
so powerful. And it's easy for us to get rid of that picture, that video, or whatever. But I think it's a good reminder for us to be like, look where we've come in just a short period of time, right?
For sure, and it really hones in your craft as well.
Yeah.
To see how we progressed over the years and months and stuff like that.
What would be the one thing or 1 or 2 things that you look back now on, like you're 4 years down the road, and you're like, I'm proud of this, whether it's, again, it's so foreign to me, like just how intense you are to your craft. So, from when you started 4 years down the road, what's 1 or 2 things that you really were like, you really stepped up or you really appreciated?
For me, it's not more about being proud, because I was in photography for about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Then I got too busy with life, family, and work and everything, and then I took a step back and I got out of it for about a year.
Okay. Hence
why when our account first started, we were using our cell phone.
Yeah.
And then I turned to her and I said,
to sell off his,
I was going to sell all
my equipment. Way.
I have
really?
Probably worth about $15,000 worth of
Get out of
equipment
here.
alone, not just
no
camera.
way.
So
he's
then
to sell it off. He's like, I'm tired of photography. I'm just going to get out of it.
Not really tired. I mean, life just was too busy.
Yeah.
And even I did portraits, and my old clients would call me, and I said, sorry, I can't do it right now. But then I had all this equipment collecting dust, and then I said, you know what? We have an event.
He saw my pictures, and he says, what is this? He's like, no. So he dusted off his camera and said, okay, I'm going to take some proper pictures for you.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Well, for us, it's really the reason why we're so passionate or intense about what we create.
Sure.
Is because the people we have met, the chefs, the business owners, and all that, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into the dish that they create.
Yeah.
We want to showcase that as best as we can as well.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an amazing dish.
Yeah.
And it pushes my creativity as well. I'm constantly thinking of new ways of shooting. I mean, you know, you fall into this comfort level every time you shoot.
Yes.
You look at it, you're
yeah.
like, it looks like all the same. Like
Sure.
I've been doing for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So now, you know, and you see all the creativity, you know, other accounts where they're throwing up food in the air or, you know, other stuff like that. But then you get used to that. So now you got to always constantly remind yourself, you know, step
Just
up your game.
Yeah, push yourself.
Push yourself. And the whole creativity level is always there. And that's what I'm passionate about.
Okay.
I think the second thing is when you asked the question was I think just even our palates have been I think are more refined. I think when we first started, you know, there's a lot of food we didn't try, and through this journey, like Instagram journey, we had the opportunity to try things that we've never tried before, and it's been amazing. It sort of refined our palate, refined our taste, and then, you know, I think our tastes are different from when we first started 4 years ago till now.
Okay.
So things that we
Our friends call it food snob. We like to call it different. It's because like if you taste one pizza and you're like, that's amazing, but then down the road when you get to eat 100 pizza, then you really start knowing the difference. It's like, wow, this ingredients actually enhances the level of the taste.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Do you find it difficult, because I know you got kids, do you find that difficult to be like, hey, let's eat here and then hope the kids are happy? Like, or do you separate that?
No, well, our daughter is very adventurous. She's super adventurous.
Like my daughter.
She'll eat everything.
Yeah.
She'll try everything. Our son is just, as long as there's chicken on the menu, like some type of fried food,
Roast duck, Chinese roast duck, rice. He's good.
Pasta, like he's very
Oh, it's so funny.
But, you know, I mean, we're pushing him to try things. He's a little bit more reluctant, but our daughter, she'll try. She's more adventurous than I am, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's tried like balut and live squid.
No way.
Yeah,
octopus. She wouldn't like. She's kind of looked
like,
at it.
Mom, you know.
She's like me. You put it in front of me. If it's moving, I don't care. It's
Mom,
I gotta try it. I gotta try it. Yeah.
Exactly.
You live once, right?
Yeah. So before this, what were you doing before? Prior to this 4-year journey, like.
Well, this isn't our full-time job. This is still our hobby. It's our passion that we do on the side.
Yeah.
I'm in the digital marketing industry.
Yeah.
She's a project
I'm a
manager.
Project manager in IT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's we're doing the same thing we've done before. It's just this is added onto it.
Sure.
So it's become something. Like we've always said this sort of brought us together because we've had interests that differed from each other.
Yeah.
So this is something that we're both interested in, and we share that passion and we share that interest. So it's been something we've been able to.
Be honest. I'm going to ask you a question. Be honest. Do you love this more than your full-time jobs?
No, because I love.
Watching
Okay. No. Are you? Let me
love
rephrase.
the
Are you more?
world.
Are you more passionate about this than your 9 to 5 or your full-time?
I think it depends on the day, because certain times. I mean, there's been a few times.
That's a good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there's been certain times I know I've said to him and he said to me where it's like, you know what, I'm tired of Instagram. Let's be done with it. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And we've gone through those phases, and I think it's natural. You just sort of, maybe you just hit a creativity block, or you're just tired of like posting. You don't want to do it anymore, and it's at the end of the day, it's social media. You kind of like you need to take a break from social media just for just be healthy.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on the day, but then there's the other opportunities that it presents us, and we're like, this is amazing. I'd love to do this like full time, but
Still haven't answered Steve's question.
Have you noticed that? Yeah, kind of skirting around the issue there.
But for me, no. I've always been passionate about the digital marketing world, the whole digital field. It constantly changes. So my passion fully lies in there. Yeah. It kind of ties into what we do.
Sure, yeah.
And it helps us in order to, knowing what's going on out there as well. For her, her daytime job, she's very passionate. She's been very busy as of late, and she's passionate on what she does. So it's different passion.
Sure.
Yeah. It's definitely different passion. But I find this more of an escape. It helps me escape from the daytime role. At the same time, sometimes I need an escape from social media. So it balances out.
Okay.
And I to be honest, I enjoy both.
Okay.
It's a different interest, and it's.
And we always consider ourselves like lucky to have this whole journey, and we're blessed of, restaurants reaching out or brands reaching out, and we're always like, oh my God, so and so reached out to us. Why us?
Like,
Oh, I love it. I love
and
it.
then other, like you said, the infamous, and we meet people and we're like, oh, you're famous. We're like, no, we're not. We're just a couple that loves to eat. That's all we are, and we document it.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, but
that's a testament just to how genuine and humble you are. Because I remember when we had met the very first time, it wasn't like, oh, let me go check you up on Instagram first before whatever.
Yeah, we had a conversation.
We just kept going and going, and then I remember driving home, be like, oh, I want to see some of their stuff, and I was like, whoa, these guys are huge.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I was like, I can't believe it. But it's just that passion has translated into just you finding a phenomenal tribe of people who just love your craft, support your craft. Like, I just sing your praises more than anything. And so that's why I was like, I need to have them on. I need to have them on. They're so amazing.
We're blessed with our followers,
Yeah.
and we made friends with the people we meet.
Yeah.
Like, we had a chance. You and I got to meet at an event.
Once.
And that's another perk of what we're doing, is meeting passionate people who share the same common interest.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the food anymore. It's about learning. You know what? You have kids too.
Yeah.
We're both Raptors fans, and then when the Raptors in the playoffs, things like that.
Yeah.
And it gave us an opportunity to meet different types of people, but it all started with food, and that's one thing I love about food. If you notice, when you're hosting at home, everyone who comes by, we're always hanging out in the kitchen.
Of course.
Of
course.
I think we've used our dining room 3-4 times, but as soon as we put it on our breakfast, our island, everyone just stands there and eat, and we're like, guys, I spent money on this house for the dining room.
For the dining room that I don't use, right? Yeah.
So.
But that's the thing. Just to add on to that, I mean, some of our closest friends we actually met through the platform.
Really?
Yeah. We hang out with them almost. Like different groups of them, like almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And we invite them over. We'll cook for them. It's an amazing time. So I mean, I think that's another thing we did not expect.
Yeah.
We have our group of friends outside of Instagram, but then we have our Instagram friends who are, we call our Instagram kids.
Yeah.
But it's not even local friends now. Like, we've met people around the world where when we travel, we reach out and we'll either meet up with them and they'll take us around.
Isn't that wild?
It's amazing, and stuff like that, and vice versa. Whoever's coming into town, they'll reach out to us. Hey guys, we're staying here. Can you give us a list? And we'll give them our honest list. Yeah. These are our favorite restaurants. What type of cuisines? This restaurant. This is our favorite dish. Yeah. And so it's not all about the fluff. It's not about what you see online with us, and even the videos we joke around. That's how we are in real life. Yeah. Right. And I think that's how you build an authentic audience, right? Because I know we'll kind of get into this right now. Is with regards to you being a foodies, you being social media influencers. What's your take on that? Like, do you accept the fact that you are a social media influencer, like to some point, like that you have a really long reach?
It's funny because sometimes I think, oh, who's going to see this? Like, no one's going to see this. Yeah. Right? Even though, I see the numbers and but I always see, I'm like, I don't think anyone's going to look at this. Or even my captions, sometimes my captions can be lengthy. And I've often been criticized of having too long of a caption. I'm like, who's going to read this? Why am I putting so much effort into this caption? Until people have DM'd us and said, wow, that's a great description. And I'm like, wow, you read it? I can't believe anybody would actually take the time to read it. So it just almost validates what we do. Sure. And it's like, wow, people are actually are interested in what we say. Yeah, I think in sort of a way, I guess we are influencer, even though we don't like the term. I don't like the term.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah.
Because I think anybody's. I mean, you could be an influencer. Like, my mom's an influencer because she'll tell me, you got to try this dish. I'm like, Mom, you just influenced me to eat it. So influencers is very general. I think anybody can be an influencer. Really. Okay. Yeah. It's just
I think the true influencers are the celebrities. For example, like Twitter or anyone. Twitter is really geared towards the celebrities itself. That's why they pay so much money to celebrities. Also Instagram. Yeah. The Michael Jordan. That's why his shoes sells. Yeah. Because from the start, you wear Michael Jordans, you can jump higher. Yeah. Etc. And all the artists and everything. For us, I guess that's why we're known as more of the micro influencer. Okay. And I guess we do influence is because I love gadgets. I've been shopping for kitchen appliances.
Yeah.
And then people have reached out. It's like, how is it? And then I'm like,
Wow.
here's the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then next week they're like, I bought one. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Which
Yeah.
brands? Like
He bought a vacuum sealer for food, like I think last Christmas
Oh,
around
nice.
that time,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, we got more DMs about that than any other food.
Yeah.
Like we've ever
No
posted.
way.
the
Yeah.
sous vide machine.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I love it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I guess we do
guess,
influence
yeah,
others, but
Yeah.
to us, we influence. I guess we're not humble,
Well, it's
but
almost like word of mouth, right? It's
yeah.
like, it's like, it's like a group of friends and saying, guys, I got this, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
you're like, wow, let me, check it out, and they'll get one too. So
Yeah.
it's more, I think, word of mouth.
we look at our account as
Like-
more like we're one big happy family, and
Okay.
we're sharing everything.
That's the
and-
community
yeah,
you
it's
have
the
though
community.
behind you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's a huge community.
Yeah.
So how did it get so large? Like your account? Like
So
was it
I don't consider it that. I guess maybe locally.
Locally.
I
So-
guess it
so
is.
again-
It's,
like you
Just
talked
like-
about micro influencer? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so if you look at our numbers of our followers, if you wanted to compare it locally, yeah, I mean the numbers are there. But now, if I now start doing more on a global scale, we're like
like
the
a
ant.
dot.
You
Yeah.
know, like when I say influencer, I'm talking about the people that have the millions and millions of followers,
Sure.
right? So for us, we don't look at that. We're just blessed of what we do.
Yeah.
But again, I have a younger sister, and she would come by our place and say, I bumped into a friend, and then they found out you guys are my brothers and sister, and
Yeah.
my MyFoodNation. They're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
know
yeah.
MyFoodNation? We're just thinking like, wow, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really cool. But I guess it hasn't really, it hasn't gotten to our heads.
Okay.
It hasn't
Pretty
sunk
much.
in that there's people who might know who we are or have seen
Yeah.
our pictures or posts or videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still I guess we're sort of removed from that side of it. Where
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, you're actually interested in what we
Yeah.
post.
What advice would you give for people who have the same passion as you, who want to use Instagram or social media as a platform to start really engaging and building their kind of audience? Because while I was there at Hey Noodles where we met, I really started to hear about this food scene, just how connected and tight it was. And there are some people who are using it for the wrong purposes, right? I'll just say it. It's they're taking your pictures and other people's pictures and they're posting it as their own,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? And that's the wrong way to go.
Well,
We know.
that's that's based on the terms and conditions of Instagram. You can't do that
Yeah.
because of copyright or anything. But in terms of advice and everything, so actually to go back to your question,
Sure.
How MyFoodNation came about and how it started up, I think it's more of that mango video. Where it went viral. It had over 111,000 views.
Was this the
and
one in
noticed-
Kensington? Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that day or that week, we didn't know what was going on. And then now I look back at our stats because I analyze our accounts and I noticed the uptick on our followers. And I guess it kind of snowballed from there. So I think that's really where.
I guess it just takes maybe
Yeah.
one viral.
Yeah,
video
and also, you know
encourage
what? We keep going back to Feed My Phone. Patrick, he's the one who actually really discovered us and invited us out to our first event. Just like how
Really?
Devin discovered you and
Yeah,
reached out to you, and then we started getting more events, invites to events, and really that's how it all
Yeah,
snowballed.
I think that's also the algorithm too. The IG algorithm. It's like, I know for us it slowed down our growth.
Sure.
I think previously when we first started, it was it was chronological and everything that you posted was in order. But now I don't know what the algorithm is, but sometimes we're not even seen. Like sometimes our followers don't see us
Yeah.
at all on their feed.
Really?
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just strange that way. So we're not getting the engagement or the growth that we used to see,
Mhm.
which is, I mean,
We're still growing,
we're
but
still growing,
at a slower
but,
pace.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, and I have to be honest, we were at a point where we're like, oh man, what's going on? We're not growing, and we are seeing other people grow, and we're not growing. But we kind of sort of stepped away from it and just said, you know what, okay, at the end of the day, what's the big deal?
Sure.
So we don't have we have 10,000 less followers than this person. You know, it's at the end of the day, is it really gonna?
I think everyone falls into that trap because I think
Yeah.
they
I wanna
use
talk about that,
social
yeah.
media as a validation because you're posting either your life, your family, you know, what you eat, or you know, your anything like that. So when you're posting something out there, and there's that like feature,
Yeah.
you're constantly looking at it because now you're validating what I'm putting myself out there.
Yes.
Are people liking me? Because if I don't like the likes, do people think of me differently?
Okay.
And that's where the whole, going back to the whole fake or whatever the facade comes into play, because you'll compare your accounts to others going, oh, that person got 1,500 likes or 10,000 likes is because they're wearing a Cartier, or you know, they're driving the fancy cars, or they're eating at the Michelin star restaurant. So I have to do the same.
Yes.
To us, we're still sticking to a couple that loves to eat.
And that's part of like how it affects mental health as well. And I know how there's been tons of articles about how social media affects mental health, and just, you know, I was saying to another person the other day that I kind of like the fact that Instagram took away the likes.
Yeah.
Because it takes the pressure off of, you know, like comparing the likes that different people have, and it's just, you know, your focus is not on the content. Your focus is on the numbers, and I don't think it should be that way. I mean, numbers shouldn't define your content or who you are as a person. It's you know, it's just numbers at the end of the day.
So do you think, let's touch upon that. Do you think when Instagram said, okay, I'm going to take away the views, or that you can't see the views and you can't see the likes, do you think that was a positive step forward, or a positive step for Instagram to kind of address mental health? Because I've heard so many different stories about what people feel about the views going away and the likes going away. Is that what do you think that was a good move?
I think it was. I don't know if it was directly like the reason for it, but I mean, I think it definitely helps. I think it was. I actually like it. Just again, the focus is off of, you know, just even us being, you know, Instagrammers. Just it takes the focus off the numbers, because I know certain times I'll be like, why is this picture like doing so crappy? We're not getting any likes on it, and I would focus on that rather than focus on things that you really should be prioritizing. So, you know, and it's, we're all human. We focus on numbers, and like, you know, of course we want to see numbers go up and grow, but like we always try to stay grounded and take a step back and say, okay, at the end of the day, what does it all mean? Like, what is it all for? Like, what's our end goal? Like, is our end goal 50,000 followers? But why? Like, why do we want to get, like, you know, is there a reason why? And there's really, I couldn't really answer that. Like, I mean,
the reason why Instagram took that away is, you got to remember, Instagram is still a business to make money. It's owned by Facebook. When Facebook bought out Instagram for $1 billion, everyone was raising their hands or going, $1 billion.
What? Yeah, that's not insane.
But Zuckerberg was smart enough to thought ahead. And Instagram now has their own marketing platform. So showing the likes and everything, because of the likes now and money involved, it will bring out the bad apples that would try to capitalize on that, monetize on that. And that kind of goes back to what you were saying, is people using it for the right reason or the wrong reason. There's a lot of money to be made in social media. Locally, we're still in our infancy stage. If you compare us to the States, they're like a year, 2 years ahead of us in terms of what they're doing.
Really?
Influencer marketing is, for us right now, is just infancy right now.
Why is that though? Like, why? Because is your craft so different than someone in the U.S. executing?
No, so it's more of the demographic. So because I'm in the digital field, I don't have any Canadian clients. It's because us Canadians are very conservative. I actually turn down Canadian clients. It's because on the traffic side, I don't have anyone that's willing to go out and buy Canadian media space. This guy said the numbers aren't there. If you even look at our population compared to California, you know, as a state as alone, you know, and Canadians, it's known that we're more conservative. When we see an ad or a picture, we sit back and analyze it and going, let me think about this. Whereas an American, you put an ad and say free, they'll pull out their wallet and say, do you want my social security number? Right away. So that's the biggest difference. So influencer marketing has caught on much faster, where Americans tend to buy into it a little more.
Okay.
Where us Canadians are more reserved, where they're like, oh, Tony and Nat ate this, but is it sponsored? Is it really good?
Got it. Okay.
You know, and that's when we get the private DMs.
Okay.
Where they're like, hey guys, did you really like that restaurant? And we would tell them, you know what? These are the dishes that we enjoy. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get to go to a restaurant where everything on the menu
Yeah. Okay.
is
Well,
like
that's interesting.
blows my mind.
Yeah, I actually
you know?
want to touch upon that because I know I get some questions sometimes. It's like, okay, we know you got this meal sponsored. Did you really like it, or you know? So, like I try to keep the integrity of our account and say, you know, we don't lie. We we try not to, you know, we do our best not to lie about anything.
Yeah.
If there's a restaurant, like we go to a restaurant that's sponsored, well, our intention is not to bash anybody and
Sure.
not to bash any restaurant. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's somebody's living.
Yeah, it's
you
someone's
know?
livelihood, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's so what I try to do is, or what we try to do is like focus on something that we did enjoy. So was it the atmosphere that we enjoyed? Was it maybe it was this appetizer that we enjoyed, and we'll focus on that one thing that we enjoyed
Okay.
and try to highlight that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not.
we've been honest with even DMs where we
Yeah.
tell our followers when they reach out, they're like, you know what, go for the appetizers.
Yeah.
We enjoy that more than the main courses, and
So
they're
I
like,
know-
okay, that's good to know.
I think
Okay.
as a
Yeah.
like someone who like a follower who is skeptical about influencers and, you know, sponsored meals and things like that, I can see why. You know, it's like, okay, they have to say it's good because, you know, they're getting paid for it, or it was free for them, or whatever the case may be. But I think it's important, like we have a sort of a social responsibility as influencers to still be honest about it, you know?
Exactly, right? Like
Yeah.
if you created a product or a food product or something like that, you got to be honest. Like if it's not good, it's not good.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, have you ever been in a position where a restaurant has reached out to you? I was wanting to ask you this question. A restaurant reaches out to you and says, please, can you come? We'll pay for your meal or whatever. Can you just help to promote our business? Have you ever gone, eaten the food, and then been like with the owner being like, I'm going to have a really tough time promoting anything in this menu? And I don't mean to, like, has that ever come across? Or not maybe not like everything, but like maybe like, I didn't like this one.
Yeah.
This like
It's. I mean, we've given feedback. We always give feedback. So the owners or the whoever's managing the tasting will ask, you know, is there anything we can improve on? And we'll be honest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for posting, you know, I try to focus on the positive. It's like, you know, we didn't like, and I wouldn't say, I would say, you know, we really enjoyed this appetizer. You know, definitely get this appetizer, but I wouldn't say this dish was awful. Like,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
like don't, you know.
Well,
Tastes
one
like
thing
no.
Yeah.
one thing we always tell people when we meet new people, because the first thing when they see our account, they're like, oh, you guys are food critics. And that's where we have to stop them, because we're not food critics. Again, we're just a couple that have been love to go out and eat and you know, seek out the new restaurants and everything. So we don't have any culinary background. Nat's a great cook, but we don't have that background in order to justify or call ourselves as a food critic.
Okay.
Where for us, it's like, you know what we compare is, you know what, if you make a beef tartare, steak tartare, you know, we'll compare it to the last 5 we've had.
Okay.
You know, that's how we'll compare it.
Got it. Okay.
If you read our content, we don't start going, okay, well, this dish I give it a 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. That's what Yelp is for.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
Yelp is more of a review, judging and everything. For us, we don't give it a score. We talk about
it. Like we always said that food is subjective. So there's things that he loves and I hate.
Yeah,
or
like balut.
Live squid.
Or he loves spice, and I can't stand much spice. I hate cilantro. I loathe cilantro. Some people love it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's very subjective, and even if we were to say we didn't really like this dish, somebody else may love it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's why I don't think we're in a position to say, guys, this is terrible, or guys, you know, this is great, because to somebody else they may have the opposite opinion. So I could say, you know, for our taste, Tony, you know, and I've sort of said this in my captions, you know, if you love spice, you know, definitely try this dish, or if you love cilantro, try this dish, or if you love, you know, whatever. And I started to try to position it that way, because again, it's subjective. People have different palates, and you know, we try to respect that.
Wow, that's crazy. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please stay tuned for part 2 next week. As always, be great, be kind, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.